All right, we have just checked the reading of the rest of the Pilgrim articles. Anything that you thought was of particular interest there? Anything surprising or new? Something I didn't tell you that you thought was good? Was it simply repetitive of what I told you in class? Mostly? Well, hopefully reading it as well as hearing it in class will help to get it into your brain a little bit. All right, next I want you to look at the paper in your packet called Writing Assignment. Notice what it says. Using research from the internet, and I forgot to have you go get your Chromebooks, we'll do that in a minute. Select one of the following situations about which to write, and I have a couple possible sites there which may have changed over the years, but you can try those sites or just Google what you're looking for. You're to pick one of the situations. There are three choices. The first is you're a stranger who came to America with the separatists in 1620. It's now the fall of 1623, and you're looking back over the events that have occurred during the past 3 years. Because of these events and experiences with the Pilgrims, you have become a Christian. Choose any two events from the Pilgrim story as you're writing a letter to a friend back in England to convince him or her that there is a God who cares about people. Remember, the key to your letter is how these events brought you to know the Lord, and that is what you want to convey in your letter to your friend. All right, so you're writing a letter back home. That's situation one. Situation two, you are a separatist who has been keeping a journal of how God has been caring for and protecting the colony since it left England. Choose any two events from the Pilgrim story and write about them in journal or diary form. Tell in detail about how God used the event or person to strengthen your faith in God and in His plan to establish America as a Bible-based nation. Situation three. So one is you're writing a letter. Two, you're writing as if you're in a journal or a diary. And of course, if it's a diary, it should be dated, right? It should have a date on the separate entries. If you're doing that, it doesn't have to be consecutive. It could be excerpts, from one day in the diary, and then it could be another day, a year later, whatever. Situation three, you've been asked by National Magazine to defend the Christian position that the separatists were God's chosen people and that God used them to begin to establish a Bible-based nation. This would be more contemporary. You're going to choose any two events from the Pilgrim experience to prove your point. Remember, there will be many non-believers reading your article. So if you want to approach it as a journalist writing an article for a magazine, you can do that. All papers must consist of an introductory paragraph. So like if you're doing a diary, that wouldn't be part of your diary, but an introduction to whose diary it is, what you're going to be talking about, things like that. Same thing with the letter. Introduction could be part of the letter, but you can have it separate if you would rather do it that way. One paragraph for each event or person you chose, and one paragraph to conclude. So essentially, a good writing style, but adapted to whatever particular situation you're doing. Okay? So everybody understand what they are to do. All right, so we're going to do some research. I don't want you just to regurgitate what's in your notes. I want you to find out stuff that's not in your notes. And we're looking to see what do you have in your telling of these two events that's additional to what you already have received in class. And this will be due on Monday. It'll give you time to research today, more time to research, and maybe start writing tomorrow, and then turn it in on Monday. Any questions? Turn in type. Yes.
Oh, so not over Classroom?
No, because some might be creative in how they do their diary and things that would not translate well for just doing it on a Word document. So if you want to handwrite it, in other words, if it's nicely done, you have that option. But primarily, for most of you, it would be type. Any other questions? So I want to see some creativity here too. So Joey, I'm looking for creativity as well as facts. All right.